Boy, it sure was nice getting wood in this instead of my big 20-foot equipment trailer that doesn't have such robust sides as this does. These nice reinforced metal sides. You can just put the wood in and not worry about wrecking stuff. Alright, well, the first use of my Moritz dump trailer is to go to a friend's place and take care of a great big oak tree that's been in his yard for a long time. So I'm dealing with the little stuff here first with my tractor, and even though it's little, it's, oak is really dense and heavy, so these things are pretty substantial in and of themselves. Okay, some really big cuts to handle here. I got my Stihl 441 32-inch bar. Of course, that bar will get buried in this great big oak tree, but it does a pretty good job. It takes a little finessing with the saw there. You don't want to touch the ground. It's just one hit on the ground can ruin the chain. Certainly dull it big time. So these individual chunks are way too heavy to lift by hand. My goal is to scoop them up with the bucket, but you can't really dig into the ground that far either. So I end up using the chain to strap the chunk of oak to the bucket. And that's a little bit unique in each situation, but ends up being the solution that seems to work the best, given what equipment I have here right now. Okay, well then the first thing it does is break in half, but that's just the way things are in the real world, isn't it? Okay, we'll just add another chain to the mix here to strap it all together. But then still another piece breaks off, so oh well. Well, even that chunk has some heft to it. Okay, next up. Well, it'd be nice to be able to pick up the whole tree with that tractor, but it's still way too heavy for that. If it did, then I would be able to saw into there without being afraid of hitting the ground with the chain. Come on, lift that tree up. Nope. The tractor can only lift about 800 pounds like that. It's still quite a bit heavier than that. Okay, marking out the territory for the last cuts I have to make on this big oak. My friend, the owner of this tree, wants the last 8 feet or so for some potential projects he's thinking of. So I mark out about every 18 inches, which I can pretty well eyeball. And just want to make sure I know where I'm going to make my next cuts. So periodically I like to check to see how hot the bar and chain is getting. Make sure it's getting enough oil. And then running it while it's not under load. Make sure it's well oiled. Gotta take care of the equipment. Well, this trunk is about 48 inches at this point, so you can really see it bearing that 32-inch bar. So I've been having to go to both sides to get this thing taken care of. Well, there's kind of a natural gap under the trunk right here, so I'm putting the bucket underneath it. Maybe I'll be able to get that thing to kind of fall right into it, so I don't have to fight it so much. Yeah, well, hey, look at that. Doing just what I wanted it to do. Yeah. Slipping it right under there again. These are some heavy suckers, man. A distant view of dumping it in the trailer. Oof, some mass there. That new Moritz trailer is handling the punishment. Still can't lift the end of this trunk, but I can get under it a little better now. Okay, I'm going to go get my beater saw, my Husky that has a carbide chain on it. So if I hit the ground with the thing running, it's not going to wreck anything. And this particular part of the trunk is really firmly attached to the ground, so I think it'll be useful. this thing is a solid 4 feet in diameter. Well, I'm going to roll this thing into a new position to make it better for cutting. Okay, I know this is getting kind of repetitive, but this is the last cut on this bad boy. In any case, it's kind of special for me because it's the first big load with the Moritz dump trailer, and this oak is really an awesome oak. Love this kind of firewood, and tackling a big tree like this is a little extra special. So yes, it's for posterity. Yes, I'm still trying to lift this thing, and it still won't lift an end, even though it's only 8 or 9 feet long at this point. I'll roll it back a little bit and finish this cut. Last piece strapped onto the bucket. Yup, and that last piece is a doozy. Got to make sure pieces don't fall out on the way back.
Well, that was fun. Let's head on home and dump this load.
Love how the doors on the Moritz swing open and just click into place. Super convenient. There's an easy to access control cable in the stainless compartment in the front there where the battery is. Well, there's a little violence with those massive slabs of oak. This is sped up a little, but it doesn't take long to raise this very large 14-foot bed. Well, it can go steeper, and as it gets to the top, you can hear the hydraulics make a peculiar noise. And there we go, the Moritz dump trailer is officially broke in. And now what you've all been waiting for, another use for the excavator, the compactification of an old worn-out fire pit.